Mercy housing. The name itself evokes feelings of compassion and support, a promise of safe haven for those in need. They're a big deal, managing thousands of affordable housing units across the country. But what happens when the organization entrusted with providing shelter and security becomes a source of distress and despair for its very residents? This isn't about a few isolated incidents. We're talking about a pattern of disturbing allegations, whispers turning into shouts, all pointing towards a deeply troubling reality. Mercy Housing is facing a tidal wave of legal challenges, accusations of discrimination, civil rights violations, and blatant disregard for the well-being of their tenants. These aren't just legal documents. They represent real people, families living with fear and uncertainty within the walls of their own homes. Think about that for a second. Your home, the one place that should be a sanctuary, becomes a source of stress. That's messed up. We're going to dive deep into these stories, peel back the layers of bureaucracy, and expose the human cost of these alleged transgressions. This isn't just about one organization's failings. It's a reflection of a much larger systemic issue. The lack of affordable housing is a national crisis, and when organizations like Mercy Housing, who are supposed to be part of the solution, become part of the problem, it demands our attention. It demands accountability. Get ready to be angry because what you're about to read is a story of broken promises, systemic neglect, and the courageous individuals fighting back against a system that seems rigged against them. Let's get specific. One of the most harrowing accounts comes from Freeman Stewart, a tenant who claims Mercy Housing subjected him to deplorable living conditions and retaliatory actions when he dared to speak out. Imagine this, a broken refrigerator for months. Stewart says he was forced to use gel packs and bottled water just to keep his food from spoiling. But it gets worse. When he complained, Stewart alleges he was slapped with frivolous probation and threatened with eviction. Think about the audacity of that. Another case that sends chills down your spine involves the tragic death of a man who fell 10 stories down a trash chute in a Mercy Housing building. Stewart claims the organization tried to sweep this horrific incident under the rug, misrepresenting the circumstances surrounding the man's death. These aren't just isolated incidents. They're pieces of a larger puzzle that paint a deeply disturbing picture of an organization seemingly more concerned with protecting its image than protecting its residents. And these are just two stories. There are countless others echoing similar experiences: ignored maintenance requests, rampant pest infestations, and a pervasive sense of being trapped in a system that seems designed to silence and disempower them. Remember Kali Malik Bey? His case against Mercy Housing exposed alleged discriminatory practices, highlighting the vulnerability of marginalized communities within these housing programs. These personal accounts are more than just anecdotes. They are cries for help, pleas for justice that can no longer be ignored. Now, let's talk about the legal battles. Kali Malik Bey versus Mercy Housing, Ross v. Mercy Housing Management. These cases aren't just about individual grievances, they shine a light on systemic issues within the organization. Discrimination based on race, disability, even source of income. It's all there, spelled out in legal filings. These lawsuits allege that Mercy Housing violated the Fair Housing Act, a fundamental piece of legislation designed to ensure equal housing opportunities for all. The impact of these cases extends far beyond the individuals involved. They have the power to set legal precedents, impacting the lives of thousands of tenants across the country. A victory for the plaintiffs could force Mercy Housing to overhaul its policies, implement stricter oversight, and prioritize the rights and well-being of its residents. But if these cases fail, it sends a chilling message that powerful organizations can operate with impunity, their actions having little to no consequence. The legal battles are complex, often drawn out and emotionally draining for the individuals involved, but they are absolutely necessary. Because these cases aren't just about seeking compensation for past wrongs, they're about demanding systemic change, about holding Mercy Housing accountable for its actions and ensuring that everyone, regardless of their background or circumstances, has access to safe, affordable, and dignified housing. This isn't just about pointing fingers, this is about demanding better. Mercy Housing receives significant public funding. That means taxpayers are footing the bill for an organization that stands accused of some pretty egregious misconduct. We need transparency, we need accountability, and we need to demand better from those entrusted with providing a fundamental human right, a safe and decent place to live. This story is far from over. The legal battles are ongoing, and the fight for justice is an uphill climb. But by shedding light on these issues, by amplifying the voices of those who have been silenced for too long, we can create the pressure needed to enact real, meaningful change. It's time for Mercy Housing to live up to its name, to embrace the principles of compassion and support that should be at the core of its mission. The tenants deserve nothing less. And for those of you watching at home, feeling overwhelmed and powerless, remember this: you have a voice. Support organizations fighting for housing justice. Contact your elected officials and demand better protections for tenants. Because this isn't just about Mercy Housing. It's about ensuring that everyone has access to safe, affordable housing. A right, not a privilege. Let's make some noise and demand better.